All right. Once upon a time, there was a giraffe that died. But we're not
zebra. No.
Don't.
Zebra.
I'm telling this story. So anyway.
That was funny.
Now, the giraffe.
Now for the giraffe.
This giraffe was kin to an ostrich until he got to where he couldn't reach the ground to put his head in the sand. So this giraffe laid an ostrich egg on top of his head. He said, I hope that I don't...
I ain't heard it, but I don't know. Don't look at me.
I hope that I don't... I hope that I'm not part ostrich.
What?
Because if I was a part ostrich, I would be laying an egg on my head. I don't think I told that right.
Tell another story, Papa.
Once upon a time, there was
We're having a
this
good time.
great hunter. The reason I know about this great hunter that he was almost good as I is about hunting animals
Take
out
a
in the woods.
video of Daddy telling jokes and stories.
So his uncle had this brand new double barrel black powder shotgun. And he wanted to take that gun and hunt so bad. He went down the road to where he lived. He said, please let me borrow your shotgun. No, I ain't leaving you my shotgun because you'll lose it. No, I won't. Just please let me borrow it. Okay, he let him borrow it. So he got that brand new double-barrel shotgun with a beautiful ramrod which packs of black powder and stuff. So he went off down the road. So he got down there to the swamp. He had to wade across this slough to get to where he wanted to hunt. So he finally got down there and got situated and got down there sitting by this log. And he took the back powder out, put it in the barrels, then put the shot in there and put some more powder and packed it down real good, waiting for a deer to come by. But the deer didn't come by. So he waited there all day long. It became dark. And he was afraid to walk across that slough again because it was about waist deep. He knew there was alligators in that slough. So he decided he'd just wait there all night. So he did. The next morning about daylight, he was asleep, so he woke up, he rubbed his eyes, was looking around. And about that time, he spotted a big old 9-point buck right across that slough. So he eased back down behind that log, and he packed some more powder in there and some more shot in both barrels. He didn't know if he had put enough in there to kill that deer that far. So he started to take aim at that big old buck.
No.
Okay, we'll do with that.
I'll go to
And just then, he was looking down, and he saw this rattlesnake right down below him, fixing to strike him right on the leg, and he knew he was dead. So he says, well, I borrowed this shotgun from my uncle. It's a beautiful gun. There's a 9-point buck across there, and I'm going to try my best to kill that deer. So he eased his gun up, and he cocked the hammers on it. And about that time, he heard this big grizzly bear right behind him, breathing right behind his neck, fixing to bite his head slam off. He didn't know what to do. He said, well, I'm going to die right here, so I might as well kill this deer. So he eased the gun up again, and he saw these geese floating down the river. And there were some mallards swimming up the river this way. So he didn't know what to do. He said, well, I'm just going to try my best to kill this big buck, because I know I'm going to die anyway right here on the spot. So he cocked the hammer on the other barrel. And about that time, he pulled the triggers on both triggers, and that gun blew up. I mean, it blew up the loudest, like a stick of dynamite blew up. The stock went behind him and hit that bear right on the head and killed him stone dead. The trigger housing went down and cut the head right off of that rattlesnake. One barrel went out that way and killed 2 of them geese. The other barrel went that way and killed 4 ducks. So he started running across the slough, and when he got across there, his waders was full of water. So he pulled off his waders, and there's a 6-pound bass in that boot. Pulled off his other wader, there's a 4-pound bass in that boot. He looked out there, he said, oh, I've lost that ramrod. About that time, he seen that ramrod sticking in an oak tree, and it had threaded 4 quail right through the middle of them. He didn't know if he'd killed a deer or not. He was so enthused about, he'd already killed the bear, killed the snake and the geese and the ducks, and he waded across there and caught all them fish in his waders. And he looked out there and he seen that deer. And the deer was coming after him with his head down, with his antlers, fixing to just kill him right there. And about that time, when the deer started after him, one of them big balls that he had put in that shotgun had shot a limb off of a tree. And it come right down and killed that deer right on the spot. And that's the story of the world's greatest hunter. And that's all I could think about to say. Because I would have probably done a little better than that if it had been me.
Nice.